successful female journalists in Sierra Leone who are breaking down barriers and making a difference in their communities. Women journalists who are using their platforms to promote gender equality and raise awareness about issues affecting women and girls. You can mention Gemma Thompson, IDEF, and IMDEF, Asma James, through the AJ Foundation. We have Femi Goga here, the president, through Women's Voice newspaper. And you have Dr. William James, the Mass Communication Department, through education and training. And I always mention, when I'm with you as Wimsal, the contribution of Bernadette Cole and this is good. And their place in the history of the media is large, it's large. Remember that Bernadette Cole is the only surviving founding member of SLAJ, correctly. Last year we lost Lizzie Bona, another founding member, but she was the only female president of SLAJ in 1978 and in 1998. And she became the first president of WAJA. WAJA is the West African Journalists Association. So she was a woman of many of us, and that should inspire you as women in the media and journalism. We should begin to think about getting another president for SLAJ who is a woman. However, let me hasten to caution that the promotion of women in politics should not be selective and biased. If you promote and advocate for the safety and security of, for example, Dr. Sylvia Leiden, you must do likewise for our worship, the mayor of Freedom and Kisoya. If you promote and advocate for the safety and security of Mata Sawane, you must also do likewise for Faniklina School, because it's all women in politics. In the promotion of women in politics and in the media, there should be no discrimination along party or regional lines. There should be unity, and you have to speak with one voice. In conclusion, we have a lot of work to do to promote women's political participation and representation in the media. By supporting and empowering female politicians and journalists, we can help to create a more inclusive and equitable media landscape and political landscape that reflects the diversity of our Sierra Leonean society. Let us commit ourselves to this important task and work together to make it a reality. So as you review your activities today, and the financial performance of Wimsal over the past year, elect new members into the executive and discuss plans for the future of Wimsal, let this AGM provide you an opportunity for your members to have a voice in the direction of the organization and ensure that it continues to meet the needs and aspirations of the membership and fulfill its vision. Let me also caution you, the new executive, when you come back, please do not occupy yourself with competing with Slavish. Focus on Wimsal, focus on your mission, and focus on your vision. You are not in competition. They have the right to associate, let them associate, and continue what they do. You have your role to play. You are not never in any competition. So focus on what you have to do, consolidate your membership, consolidate your vision and your mission, and ensure that Wimsal takes its rightful place in the media Israel. With that, I wish you all.
Thank you very much, our president of SLAJ. Now, ladies, did you take the 7 steps the president of SLAJ gave to promoting women's issues?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very much elated to stand here this afternoon to share my thoughts in regard to the topic, positioning female journalists to promote women in politics. It gladdens my heart to stand here this afternoon to interact with my own constituents. this is my constituency. However, before I progress, I bring you greetings from the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Lordship Justice Desmond Babatunde Edwards, staff members of the Judiciary of Sierra Leone. Madam Chairlady, distinguished guests, the Judiciary of Sierra Leone is a creature of the Sierra Leone Constitution, Act No. 6 of 1991. To make the judiciary an autonomous and independent institution, Section 120, subsection 3, made it very clearly that the judiciary, in the exercise of its judicial functions, we are only answerable to the Sierra Leone Constitution or law legislated by Parliament. The status of the judiciary before his appointment, that is the Honorable Chief Justice, in December 2018, was nothing to write home about. Many people describe the judiciary of Sierra Leone as an eyesore of this great nation. The judiciary at that time can only boast of one university graduate. The judiciary, an independent arm of government, at that time, we have a situation wherein magistrates and judges were using the main law courts building to an extent that magistrates were bullied by the judges. If, for instance, a matter is ongoing, presided over by a particular magistrate, the judge will come in and say, immediately the judge enters, the magistrate will leave. So it means the entire justice system became a standstill. Even those who came in court at that time would be left with no option, but their matter will be adjourned.
My son, the vibrant board member, Kande Sise, is my son. I brought him into journalism, and he's now a big man. In fact, sometimes now when I'm broke, I send to him, Malema, I need some money. He sends money for mommy, and he sends me some small cash. He's now a big man. Madam Leon Rock and other speakers who have already spoken, I want to now stand on all protocols. Thank you for inviting me to be your keynote speaker today. It's a great honor, and I cherish it, I value it, and that is why I am here. There were other functions today, other important functions, and I said to those people who invited me, I love you so much, but I have a more important event to support my women in the media. A little over 15 years ago, in November 2007, some dynamic women, about a dozen of them, we had just finished what I would refer to as the most highly contested elections in the history of Sierra Leone, the 2007 elections. And these women recognized after those elections that there was need for the creation of space for women to advocate, especially on women's issues, as well as to ensure more women come into the field of the media. So in November 2007, Women in the Media Sierra Leone was formed. And 15 years later, we stand today. Not only has it sustained itself, but it is now a very powerful force of over 200 members across Sierra Leone. Wimsal, congratulations. Now, As I said, this Wimsal was formed in the wake of the 2007 elections. And as we approach the 2023 elections, I want to tell you something. These elections that are coming are going to be as contested as the 2007 elections. So it is very, very important that what was recognized 15 years ago about the lack of women and the lack of women's issues in the media that led to the creation of Wimsal, it is very important that the theme for this annual general meeting of Wimsal is positioning female journalists to promote women in politics as we approach the 2023 elections. Before I get there, let us look at what do we mean by gender equality. Gender equality means we recognize that just as a man can be competent and capable, so also can a woman be competent and capable.
Sure.
Gender equality means that both men and women are intellectually the same. Our brains are the same. We recognize that it is not because they have more muscles than us. You see, like Monk there, he sees muscles. It doesn't mean that the brain power in his head is muscular more than ours. Is that not so, my ladies?
Yes.
We have the same amount of brain cells. But I have been in politics for over 30 years. Sometimes I get embarrassed when they introduce me because there's so much to talk about. But one of the things that wasn't mentioned in the introduction today is the fact that I was the first woman to campaign at the University of Sierra Leone, contest against men, and become the first woman to be elected as president of a government of students' union in the Republic of Sierra Leone. I have been in politics for over 30 years, and I know what is politics. So when we speak about promoting women in politics, I want you to pay attention to some key points that I want to raise today. You see, politics is a unique science. It's a science. There's nothing in this world like politics, nothing. It is not mathematics. It is not engineering. It is only in politics that they will tell you 1 + 1 is 5, and you have to accept that it is 5. Only in politics. In politics, we don't have the Pythagoras theorem. It doesn't work in politics. In politics, we don't have Newton's laws of motion. It doesn't work in politics. Politics is a unique science. It moves according to the times. It changes according to the times. So if you are not smart enough to understand that politics is not a fixed science, politics is a game of intrigue, then they can sweep you in and get you to follow a wrong pathway without realizing that you are being used. So today, as we approach the elections, I want to use this chance to guide you a little bit. I am thankful to the president of SLAJ because he has already adequately handled a section that I wanted to handle, which was the statistics, the challenges. And most importantly, he not only handled the troubling statistics, but he gave recommendations. He has handled most of the recommendations that I wanted to speak on today, so I will not repeat them. But what I would do, I would now move you to do some little bit of fun exercising of our brains. So when I said men and women are equal, I mean if a man can be good, a woman can be equally as good. Is that not so? So I want you to repeat after me, huh? So when I say if a man can be good, you say a woman can be equally as good. When I say if a man can be kind, you say a woman can be equally as kind. So whatever I say a man can do, you repeat after me that a woman can do it. Are you with me? Let's go. If a man can be good, if a man can be kind, if a man can be loving, if a man can be patriotic, and if a man can be compassionate. Now, if a man can be corrupt, if a man can be, let's flow, no, don't lose the flow, let's go. If a man can be satanic, if a man can be malicious, and if a man can be evil. Now, my ladies, you know why I have done this? I want to sensitize your brains for the next stage of my keynote address. You see, as we approach the 2023 elections, you are going to have to recognize that there are good men in politics. There are good women in politics. But at the same time, we have bad women in politics. And because we know that we have bad women in politics, you have to be careful that you do not fall into the trap of the gender agenda being hijacked. Now, I told you just now that politics is a science. Now, one of the things that is in politics is this thing called political parties. Political parties. Politicians, they belong to political parties. And a key thing that is in the political party is called the DTD. What is the DTD? The DTD is the Dirty Tricks Department. All political parties have them.
The managing director and CEO of Rokel Commercial Bank, who was meant to address this gathering, is unavoidably absent due to some other official duties he is attending to. He sends his sincere apology and best wishes to the organizers of this program, and specifically to the members of Wimsal. Today, I am here, an employee of Rokel Commercial Bank. I am Aruna Dumbuya, with long-standing working experience at the bank for over 15 years. I am the current officer in charge of the Public Relations Department. Considerably, my role here this afternoon is to talk on the operations of Rokel Commercial Bank, or to deliberate on the operations of Rokel Commercial Bank, and reflecting on women and reflecting on female journalists to promote politics in Sierra Leone. Considerably, Rokel Commercial Bank is a long-standing name, business name that has been in existence since September 1999. To date, the bank has existed for about 23 years. The primary activities of the bank is to provide basic banking activities and related financial services in a manner that builds strong, lasting, and satisfying relationship with our customers, stakeholders, and the communities in which we operate. As we stand as a bank, today we have 17 branches in the country, excluding our head office. And to be more specific, I want to quickly make mention of some of the branches because I want all of us here to understand the areas where we are operating. And by that, you and all of us here can help escalate the necessary information so that we'll continue to win the hearts of people in the country and to others that are coming to the country. Basically, as I said, we have 17 branches excluding our head office. The branch 01 is the Siaka Stephen Street branch. Our branch 02 is our Clock Tower branch. 03 is the Bo branch. 04 is our Kenema branch. 05 is the Wellington branch. And the 06 itself is not a branch, but it is the section or the unit that is hosted or seated on our Siakastini Street branch. Then 07 is the Wilberforce Street branch, 08 is the Koilu branch, 09 is the Moyamba, and branch 10 is our Pujong branch. Branch 11 is our Congo Cross branch. Branch 12 is our Makeni branch. 13 is the Charlotte Street. 14 is Kabbalah. 15 Kalamu. 16 Wilkinson Road. 17 Juba. Then the final branch, which is coded as branch 18, but in actual fact it is the 17th branch. That's the branch that is seated at Wilberforce. Considerably, when you look at our operations in Sierra Leone, we know exactly what are the needs and expectations of women. When we formulate our strategies, we look into key documents and policies, both national and international. Having looked at the Sustainable Development Goal, when we critically evaluate the number 8 goal, it actually takes sound consideration and cognizance of women inclusivity. And by that, we also relate the content of that document to another fine document in Sierra Leone, that is the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion. Especially when you look at the main content and expectation of that document. It's specifically focused on women inclusion and inclusivity, as well as consideration of people who are less privileged and then those who are actually suffering. Additionally, if you also look at another document in Sierra Leone, that is the Midterm National Development Plan, it also takes sound consideration and cognizance of women and to see how women can be financially included. And on that note, having developed our strategy as a bank, we tried as best as possible to create so many products and services that will be more attractive and attracted to women. On that note, we continue to provide the traditional services that we have been providing. That is the normal savings account, current account, foreign account, and the other forms of account. But looking at the current trend, we have seen that we have to work ahead so that we capture and meet with the expectation of all the jurisdictions and other countries within the sub-region, and also to meet the demands of the current trend, especially in line with innovation and technology. That is why in recent times, we tried as best as possible to maintain 2 departments to meet these targets. And by that, we can see how best we'll continue to encourage women and support women. Of course, women in journalism, we have been working with you closely.
Women in the media.
Women in the media, sorry. Okay.
Our breakaway.
Oh, you break away now. Okay.
No, the breakaway ones.
Well, basically, we have been working unanimously with all of you. But since this particular time, you have met us specifically to see how best we can support you, we'll continue to support you. But to be very honest, okay, no problem, but to be very honest, for us as a bank, we don't segregate. We support you, and if other women come to us, we support.
No, now we get okay back.
We'll try as best as possible. But today, here, we'll continue to support you. Rest assured, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, what we did was we tried as best as possible to maintain some products and services that will help to bring women more closely to us. We established the SME unit, and in that unit, we have 3 broad operations under that unit, where we take cognizance of the informal sector. And at the same time, we look at the business people and we look at the keke and okada riders. Looking at the informal sector, we are trying as best as possible to have the market women. We have noticed that in Sierra Leone, the unbanked population in Sierra Leone is more than 70%. People who do not have access to financial inclusion, access to financial services. So basically, we have tried as best as possible to capture so many women Because we have seen that the studies that we conducted, we noticed that even when it comes to paying loans, especially in terms of repayment, women are more responsive than men. We did that survey. And to be very honest with you, drawing or making reference to even women inclusivity in our bank, we are not just concentrating on the 30% quota captured in the Act. What we're doing is to ensure that we meet the regulatory requirements. That is why if you walk through the banks of this country, especially Wimsal Commercial Bank, you walk through our branches, you can see that we have so many number of women. We exceed the 30% quota, which is very good for us. That is why we are using this platform and this medium to encourage all other organizations for them to meet the regulatory requirements. Within this operation of the SME, we try as best as possible to maintain people who are like food soldiers. They go down to the market, they encourage women to come on board. Because we have noticed that some women who are market women, they find it very difficult to come to the bank, especially when they look at the ambience or so. But by meeting these people, we have some other people who are like chairladies, chairmen. They organize them for them to have access to finances. More especially when you use the SIM copper, you'll be at your home, at your convenience. We link your account with your phone. We have an app that links your phone with your account so that you can be at your convenience, you be at home, you do all your banking transactions. And basically, this SIM copper has several facilities. There are so plenty that it is more advantageous for you. So many people do not know exactly what are the primary functions of this SIM copper. But let me just throw light quickly so that we can see. The SIM copper itself, you can be in place to make withdrawals during weekends. In Freetown and even some parts of country, we have booths in several places. You can access these booths, then you make your withdrawals through SIM copper. Through SIM copper, you can be in place to make transfers from one Wimsal account to another Wimsal account. Through SIM copper, you can also be in place to make transfer from Wimsal account to another bank account, which is more advantageous. We are the first to do it. So I basically want you to know this and help escalate this. Through SIM copper, you can even do a transaction that we normally refer to as bank to wallet. You can buy Orange top up, a free money through your SIM copper account. And at the same time, if people send money for you through Orange, you can also be in place to transfer that money from your Orange again to your account. These are all some of the fine access you will have through the SIM copper. Additionally, we also have the internet banking. And apart from the internet banking, we have the agency banking. Considerably in Sierra Leone, we are the first again to introduce agency banking. We have several booths across the country. And these booths normally do basic banking functions. You will then be in place again to open accounts through these agency booths. Open accounts, you can check balance, you request bank statements, you request checkbook, and some other facilities. Considerably, we are not just the leading bank, but we consider ourselves to be the best. And for that reason, we want all of you to be on board so that we can continue to enjoy the progress and successes of Wimsal Commercial Bank. Since we have other speakers, I don't want to deliberate that much. I will try to limit my discussion. But I want to leave you with one saying. Because today, we are seeing that we are trying to position the female journalist, for politics. We want to be very honest with you. We, in sometimes or in some cases, we don't like to go too far into politics, but we'll try as best as possible to support you for growth and development. Yeah? Yes. Then I'll leave you with this. I want to be very honest and frank with you. Any individual, I'll not say man, but any individual who does not want to see women in position of trust is a coward. Yeah? Thank you so much.
Wow. And remember, the Commercial Bank is for Wimsal. Hello. Okay. It's our bank. You see us in there?
Most times for most women it's difficult to get the answers. Now let me give an example. Going for a loan, if I am to compete with a man to go for a loan, there is more possibility for banks that I've witnessed and to give it to the man than the women. This is what I've witnessed. You can. It might be different for your bank, or it might be different for other places that I have not witnessed. But that's the situation. Now, what makes you different from other banks? I mean, like really stand out. What's the difference when it comes to women's empowerment? When it comes to encouraging more women to be financially strong and inclusive, or to be financially independent? That's the area I'm asking. And apart from that, I am the incoming president. So I would like to ask, or would like to suggest a few things. We hope that we will be able to get your support for our members in terms of taking low interest loans to make or to do huge projects. Most times for women, they would want to embark on huge projects like opening businesses, like building a house, but it's difficult to get without getting collateral. Thank you. It's difficult for them to get that, and you can see there are women here who have practiced in the media for 10, 15, 20 years. They have nothing to show for it. So how can you support this? These are the kinds of support that we look forward to. And then we also would like to suggest that you launch a fellowship or scholarship that is targeting women. Because if you look at the research that has been presented, you will notice that the women in this country, most of them are not empowered. And that's affecting us to take our rightful place in society. So how would you support in terms of capacity building and launching scholarships, fellowships, mentorship programs to help women to be financially independent and inclusive, and to also help women to get the empowerment that they need to move from this stage to the next level? Sorry it was long, but I hope I made some sense.
The setting up with a foreign account to help bank, whether the bank is doing internet banking, Visa card, and also local currencies accounts. Local currency, because we have only one currency earlier. So for me, I want to be saving my money with Rocket Bank. Even when I'm outside the country, I want to use the ATM card of Rocket Bank. That tells you how I always think about Rocket Bank as one of the best banks in Sierra Leone. And also about your recent promotions. Can you please update us about your recent promotions? Like the SIM couple. At one point, I saw a message. Somebody just sent me a SIM couple. I was asking myself, what is a SIM couple? I'm not part of the SIM couple. But I needed the money. So I had to call my friend, Ellie. I normally shout at him because when I needed money and he's making like as if he don't want to, I would just, Ellie, I need this for you. Ellie, I need SIM couple, I don't understand. So Ellie will just come and explain to me. So another suggestion again, we are media practitioners. Sometimes we are occupied with reporting. I want to recommend that you guys moved around our media outlets time to time to encourage us, because the local SIM couple is very easy and most of us we don't even know about it. So we want it to be more visible.
I really like the submission. The first question I'm going to address is the one that relates to our difference. What makes us to be very much different from other banks? In actual fact, I'm here with my team. I will not leave you, but all of us are important. But basically, I'm going to answer this question first. Probably all the questions I'll give you the platform to answer. What makes us different is this. As I mentioned earlier, I talked about key important documents that we do normally follow one fine document for Sierra Leone is the Midterm National Development Plan, especially the one that spanned from 2019 to 2023. In that document, there is a clear provision for women inclusivity. And on that note, further to answering this question, charity begins at home. What we do as a bank is we try as best as possible first, in-house, to meet the regulatory requirements. That is why, in terms of female employment in the bank, we have more than 40% in the bank, which is very good for us as a bank. Then, additionally, when it comes to management, we have a greater number of women at management level. And finally, when it comes to financial access within the system, they are equally important, and all of us have that same equality. So it is some of these policies that were taken out there to the public, because once we begin to practice some of these good policies, we'll be in place to replicate them outside. So what has happened over the years is that we notice that women normally find it difficult, especially those who are illiterate, to face the bank. So that is why over the years, after we have made these studies and we have seen the facts to it, we tried to establish the SME unit. And this SME unit is going out there to the public to encourage women for them to be financially included. And on that note, we ensure that these women are being headed by chairmen and chairladies. So by this, we'll have more of women to be financially included for us to see how best we can reduce the number or the total number of percentage of the unbanked population, more especially when you look at Sierra Leone, the people who are actually having access to financial inclusion, they are just about 28 or 29%, which is really not good. So that is why we deduced that strategy. And I want to assure you that we'll continue to do our best to include women financially. You made mention of low interest loan. I just want to be very honest and explicit with you. We like to maintain on the premises of fairness and equity. But I mean, there are certain times when we have exceptional rules, and these are things that are coming from management. So basically, if you first have or try to have the engagement with us, you have your proposal, you discuss that at management level. You drop your document, we push it to management. So by that, I want to believe some consideration will be given, because now we're beginning and we're seeing the push that you are pushing extremely hard to ensure that you not just equal with the men, you are seeing that you want to surpass men. You also made mention of scholarship for loans. And this, basically, the only assurance I'm going to give you here is to convey the message. Because I don't want to make any assertion here that will tie me around. But I will convey your message. I will make your message reach management, please. So pardon me on that area. I want to say thank you very much.
No, no. Hey. Kushel. Yeah. Titi Kushel. Mahmoud. Rose baby. Yeah. It's Canada. Shout out to the girls who they enter the club with some bottle water. Yeah. Shout out to the girls who they say no they eat cooking a fried rice. Yeah. Kushel. Oh oh. Yeah yeah yeah. Yeah yeah yeah. One time for the man we been saying go buy me baby range. Two time for the girl we been keep me man. You feel say we don't part, baby kusheo. This thing they sweet me if it at you. I say kusheo. You wait tot lie and Congo sa as you oh. I say kusheo. Shout out to the girls who the label forget fine Rivon. Yeah. One love to my slay queens. Sexy girls with great heels. Yeah. When it's come, then go down at the bala. Get iPhone 8, no money for recharger. We come na the corner, make we come up skin. Then at the day we go jam body. I go kill any and we like na pam body. Baby come closer, come dance for me. Me killing me, yeah, 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 yeah. Push it. Shout out to the girls who they enter the club with some bottle water. Yeah. Shout out to the girls who they say no they eat cooking a fried rice. Yeah. Push it, oh oh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Push
One time for the man we been saying go buy me baby range. Two time for the girl we been keep me man. You feel say we don't part, baby kusheo. This thing they sweet me if it at you. I say kusheo. You wait tot lie and kungosa as you walk. I say kusheo. You dey caution me, you dey afraid for tell me to my face. You say you don't like me, you still dey follow me. All your life you dey try for be me. So big up to the badass where they peep me status. Big up to the haters where they follow me. I rap KME, you can copy me. Just ask around and sabi me. You where they date past 10 girls. You where you get salary now for 10 girls. You where he act cause I talk the truth. Una kusheo.
Shout out to the girls where they enter the club with some bottle water. Yeah. Shout out to the girls where they say no they eat cooking and fried rice. Yeah. Kusha oh oh. Yeah 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 yeah. Kusha oh.
One time for the man we been saying go buy me baby.